Hey there, I am Holly Beck and I'm a former professional surfer, now professional surf coach. And the very best way to improve your surfing is to get video footage. Seeing yourself on video is the very best tool for improving your surfing. Having a coach look at the footage and be able to break down all the little things, foot placement, body positioning, eyeline, all of those little things that can make a huge difference that you might not even notice that what you're doing. And then you see it on video and you're like, I am bending my knees. Oh wait, you're right, I'm not bending my knees. I need to bend my knees more. All of those little things you can put into place, and the first step is being aware of them. We are starting a new program where we're going to offer remote video coaching. So if you have footage of yourself already, you can send it to me and I will take it and break it down and talk about what I see, what I think you're doing great, and what I think you could improve on, and I'll send you back a little edited clip of all the tutorial information that you can then put in place to improve your surfing. To give an example of what we're talking about, I am going to use this example of someone named Shyla who came on a surf retreat to Costa Rica, and here are some waves from her very first session, and this is the advice that I have for her. Okay, so I see you paddling for these first few waves, and it seems like one thing that would be good to talk about is the pop-up, both timing and also strategy. So let's do that. Okay, so let's talk about the pop-up. The first thing I want to talk about is how to do a pop-up most efficiently. So I see in your video that as you're doing your pop-up, you're going to your front leg and then your back leg. Now that's not the end of the world, and it's totally normal when someone's first starting out to not be able to pop up with both feet at once, but let's aim high here. So let's talk about the goal in your pop-up. So what you want to do, you're on your board, you're paddling for the wave. You want to push up as if you're doing a push-up up onto your toes, and then spring your feet up so that both feet land on the same time. So you're kind of doing a step and then a step. And one of the things that tends to happen when you do that is that people think, okay, step up. So then their foot lands so that their foot and their knee is pointed really far forward. So you just don't have quite as much stability or control over the board in this position. Another thing that happens sometimes, which I'm noticing with you a bit, is that your foot is landing, your front foot is landing off to the side of the board. Now, when you take your hands off, that's going to tend to make your board tip a little bit, so that's something you want to be aware of. So, if you can physically do it, and I would suggest get on a yoga mat and try it. Try and pop up just right to both feet. The other thing you want to kind of think as you do that is you want to swing your hip. So instead of thinking like plank to lunge, think about plank to leading with your front hip so that your hip lands in line with your surfboard. So that's going to allow your front foot to land more at a 45-degree angle. Now, if you can't do it on land, that's something to work on, whether it's a strength or a flexibility thing. You can work on that, like on land, make it a part of your normal workout routine. If you can't do it on land, then you should be able to do it in the water. So it's just going to be about practice. So I encourage you to try and work on that, because it's just going to allow you to set up the wave so that right when you're on your feet, boom, you've already got control of the board. Okay, so the important thing about having your feet in the right orientation is this. The way that you're going to control your surfboard as you get to become a better surfer is through shifting your weight from front to back and to toe and heels. So if your foot is on the side of the board and pointed forward, you can't use your toe and heel to adjust the board. So that's why it's important to have your feet at the right angle. So the other main thing, once you get the mechanics, the physical part of the pop-up down, is going to be the timing. So on some of your videos, you're popping up a little too soon, and in others, you're popping up a little too late. So what's gonna happen is this: as you're paddling for the wave, when the wave, here's you paddling for the wave, here's the wave coming up behind you. So when the wave gets to you, you're gonna feel it lift you up, and then it's gonna start being underneath you. So sometimes people initiate their pop-up right as they feel it lifting them up, and then they pop up, and then the wave passes without them. So the alternative, the other thing that sometimes happens is that people paddle, and either the wave is breaking behind them because they're too far forward, or because they just haven't popped up soon enough. So then the wave breaks behind them. They feel it starting to break, and they try and rush their pop-up, but they have no speed. So if you have no speed, you're gonna fall over, okay? So what you wanna do is be paddling and looking over your shoulder. So paddle, you're looking over your shoulder. If you look over your shoulder and you're like, this thing's already breaking on top of me, you might wanna just sit up on your board and pull out and not go, and save it for being in the right place. The alternative is you're paddling, you see the wave coming and starting to break on top of you. The other thing you can do is just hold on, let the wave break behind you. It's gonna shoot you out in front of the whitewash, then you can do your pop-up. But if you have no speed at all and you're starting to get vertical and you try to pop up from there, chances of you pulling it are small. So you don't wanna waste your energy. So those are your two options. Either go with it, okay, I'm just gonna lay down, I'm gonna wait until now the wave is broken, now I'm gonna pop up. Or if you don't wanna waste the time and energy getting out of position, then okay, this thing's gonna break on top of me, you can just sit up on your board and pull your board up, and that's like putting the brakes on, and then the wave will go without you, and you can turn around and paddle back to the lineup. So the best case scenario is you're paddling for the wave, you're looking down the line, is anyone coming? Is it gonna break? You're looking in the way you wanna go. Okay, this is going left in that direction. So check again, no one else is on the wave. Okay, now I'm gonna pop up. Paddle, you'll feel the wave lift you up, and give it one or two more paddles so you feel it moving you forward. So you wanna wait until you actually have some forward momentum with the wave, because if you pop up before you started going forward, the wave might just go on without you. So give it a couple more paddles. 2 more paddles is like something really common for surf instructors to say. 2 more paddles, 2 more paddles. So give it 2 more paddles, do your fast pop-up, and then look in the direction you want to go. Okay, here's the wave of the session. This one is so awesome. Oh my goodness, you're stoked. So it took you a minute to get to your feet, but that's okay. We're going to work on that. Once you get up and going, you can just see the joy, and it's an awesome, awesome ride. I love it. Look at the length. You're killing it. So rad. Put more weight on your front foot is probably the most common thing that I tell to people of all ability levels. So when you're on your surfboard, the back foot is the brakes, and the front foot is the gas pedal. So people have a tendency to stand on their back foot. I think it's like a security thing. It's like, you're like, whoa, this is gnarly. Also, when people are learning how to surf and you're doing a lot of nose dives as you're dropping in, you learn to keep your weight back to avoid the nose from going under. Once you're up and going down the line, you want your feet to be evenly balanced, your weight to be evenly balanced between front foot and back foot. So I'll tell people you want more weight on the front foot, and sometimes people will do this one, or they'll try to push, but really all it is shifting your hips forward. See how as I shift my hips forward, the weight automatically goes more to the front foot? The benefit to this too is that then if it looks like there's a chop or something's happening and your nose is starting to go under, it's really easy just to shift back. So you don't want to kind of shift forward like this, where your weight stays on the back foot, but just shift your hips forward, and then you're going to have more acceleration going down the line. So let's see this wave again. So see, as you get to your feet, watch how your weight shifts back. You can see the nose of the board sort of sticking up out of the water at times, like there, right there. So that's where you want to shift your weight forward, and you'll just have more acceleration going down the line. But overall, you're doing a great job. Overall, I think you're doing awesome. You've got a great foundation. Just work on those pop-ups, and then work on the timing. And once you're up and riding, really make sure to try and get your weight centered over both feet, and then you're just going to go flying down the line. So some things to think about if you want to take it to the next step would be your eye line. Where are you looking? You're gonna go where you're looking. So if you're going down the line, make sure you're looking at the wave face. So not down at your feet, not at the beach. You want to actually be looking at the face of the wave. So if I'm going down the line this way, surfing down the line, I want to be looking at this face of the wave in front of me. I can't wait to see your progress. I hope I'll get to see more of your videos.